to my channel and to today's video. I hope you're all really well. So today's video is a sewing day video, one of my favourite kind of days because I get to do some sewing, which is really exciting. And today's video is actually a collaboration video with Becky from Notes from the Sewing Room. So I'll just pop Becky's link here on the screen so that you can pop over and see her channel as well. But Becky and I recently both bought the same fabric, and it's this really lovely pink viscose floral fabric. I have shown it in a couple of fabric haul videos recently. It's just lovely. It's got a lovely pink coral background to it, and then all over the fabric there are some white dots and black flowers and things like that. So it's actually taken me ages to decide what to make with this, because it was one of those fabrics which was so pretty I just couldn't quite decide what to make. So Becky and I both bought some of the same fabric, and we decided it would be fun to come together again and just do a kind of one fabric two ways type video where we didn't really share with each other what we were going to be making. We thought I'd leave it as a secret and then reveal both of our makes on both of our YouTube channels. So I'm just going to hand over to Becky quickly now so she can do a quick intro about what she's going to be making over on her channel, and then it would be lovely if after you finish watching my video you could pop over and see hers too. I'm really excited to see what she's made because, as I say, we haven't really discussed exactly what we're going to be making, so it's always really nice to see the kind of reveal finished video. So here she is now.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky and my YouTube channel is called Notes from the Sewing Room. I'm really excited to be teaming up with Sally today to do our one fabric two-way challenge. So thank you very much, Sally, for having me over here on your channel, and hello to everyone who perhaps hasn't visited my channel before. So I have decided with the fabric to do something that I've not done before, and that is this beautiful pattern here. So this is the McCall's M8180 pattern, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. So there's a few different techniques in here that I haven't done before, plus in my video I am going to be styling the shirt in a number of different ways that I've been having a little bit of fun with. So it would be great if you could pop over to my channel after you've watched Sally's video today. But thank you so much everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye!
Thanks Becky, I can't wait to see what you make. So as I said, it's taken me quite a while to decide what I want to make with this fabric. But in the end, I've been back and forth. I did consider actually making the Sew Over It vintage 1940s tea dress pattern, which I haven't brought down with me today and I should have done. I'll pop in an image to show you what it looks like. So I was going to make up this pattern because I bought it in the sale. I think it was a Minerva sale actually, where Sew Over It were discontinuing all of their lovely sort of illustrated vintage style patterns. So I snapped that one up in the sale before it went out of print, but I haven't actually made it up yet. So I thought I might make that up in this fabric, but then when I thought about it, I thought even though I love the style of that dress, I just don't think I'll actually get that much wear out of it. It's quite a fitted dress and it's quite a low V-neck style dress. So while I'm really happy to have that pattern in my pattern stash, I don't think it's going to be one that I'm going to get a lot of wear out of day to day. And this fabric is too lovely to not wear very often. So in the end I decided to wear something that was a bit more practical to me, and I'm going to make another hack, and this time I'm going to be hacking the Friday Pattern Company Davenport Dress. And I'm going to be making it into a top. So this is the Friday Pattern Company Davenport Dress. So you can't really see from this picture all of the details of the dress, so I'll just show you the line drawings now. So here are the line drawings of the dress, and I'm just hoping they're going to show up because sometimes when I'm facing this way into the light they don't show up too well, so I'll pop in an image if they don't show up properly. But basically it's a really lovely boho style dress with lots of pretty features in it. So you can see on the front of the dress here, this is the long sleeve version. It has a lovely kind of yoke detail to the bodice. The neckline is elasticated. There are some frill details that you can add in at the shoulders. The kind of standard dress has long sleeves with an elasticated cuff, so they're kind of poofy at the wrist. The main dress is drawstring at the waist, and then you've got this lovely sort of gathered in skirt with a frill to the bottom as well. So I've made various different versions of this dress. I've made one as it is in this style. I've just followed the pattern exactly as it is. And I absolutely love that dress. I'll pop in an image in case you haven't seen it, but you probably have if you've watched my channel for a while. It's one of my favourite dresses. I've also made a midi length version of the same dress, but this time I left off the frills at the top of the sleeves. And then I've also made a sleeveless version of this dress as well, as it is kind of midi length with the frill. And I love all of them. So what I want to try this time is actually to turn this pattern into a top. So I've been back and forth on whether or not to include sleeves on my top pattern. Originally I was going to just use the cap sleeves, the kind of frills as sleeves. But I've actually decided now that I'm not going to use the cap frill sleeves. I'm going to use the long sleeve pattern, but I'm going to shorten the sleeves into some sort of little puff sleeves. So I'm basically going to use the exact sleeve style, but I'm going to shorten it a lot so that it's elasticated at the top of my arm rather than at the wrist. So before I get on with sewing, I should mention what I'm wearing before I forget. So I'm wearing quite an old make today. I'm actually wearing a poppy playsuit, but I sew over it. And I'll pop in an image so that you can see the full playsuit, but I've actually made this one culotte length. So with the sew over it poppy playsuit, you can actually make it shorts length or you can make it full length. The full length version is a little bit long for me, so again I just went for culotte length, kind of mid-calf length. And yeah, I really like this. It comes out quite a lot actually because it's really comfortable to wear, and today's one of those days. It's only about 20 degrees here, so it's not too hot, so it's kind of perfect for this weather. It's really comfortable, it's elasticated at the waist here. A really super easy sew actually because the sleeves are just grown on. So the top is just kind of a front and back, and then it's faced here with a keyhole opening at the back and an elasticated waist. And yeah, it's just a really kind of comfy but put together enough look, if you know what I mean. And it's really nice to wear when you're just around the house or sewing like I am today. I just realised that I didn't really explain how I'd adapted the pattern in order to make it into a top. So just for kind of clarity, I did cut out all of my pieces yesterday because I just can't cut out and sew on the same day unless it's a really kind of simple, quick and easy project. I just find cutting out and sewing on the same day to be a bit of a slog. Although I did do it the other day with my Logan jacket, but I think it just depends what I'm making. If it's something that I need to think about quite a lot, I much prefer to get everything all cut out and ready to go the day before. So what I've done with this pattern is simply to cut out all of the bodice pieces, all of the bodice pieces of the dress. So you've got a front piece, a neckline facing, and then you've got your two yoke pieces for the front. And then the back is actually finished with a yoke here, which is finished in the burrito method and lined really nicely inside. And then you've got the back piece of your dress. And obviously, because normally you're making a dress that kind of cuts in at the waist, the bodice part of the dress is actually quite short. So I have lengthened the top part of the bodice front and back down quite a lot. And I think from memory, you know, I like to wing these things. I've lengthened it around 20 centimetres and I think I might have lengthened that a little bit too much, but what I want to do is actually make the top and then see how it hangs on me to see whether or not I want it tucking in length or kind of cropped and short so that it can go over jeans and things like that. So I'm going to make it up and then see if I want to shorten it even more. And then with the sleeves, all I've done is use the sleeve piece from the Davenport dress and I've shortened it quite considerably. So I've shortened the sleeve piece so that it's quite a lot shorter, but long enough so that I still have that elastic casing. The elastic casing will go here, and then obviously you have a little bit of a hem turned up here so that you get that kind of frilly bit at the bottom of your elastic casing. In the description of the video I will list the exact measurements that I've lengthened the top pieces by and what I've shortened the sleeve by, because I'm being very vague this morning. But yeah, that's what I've done. I've used the actual sleeve pattern piece and then I've just shortened it quite a lot and hoped for the best basically. So yeah, so all of my pieces are cut out and I'm ready to sew. So I'm really looking forward to getting started with this top now. Try not to talk too much about the process of this because I've just realised that I already have a Davenport dress sew along, so I'll link that down below if you want to see in more detail probably all of the steps of the process. But the elastic is in now for the top, so that goes around there like that. It's a really pretty little detail. I always feel like that bit's a bit of a fiddle, so it's quite nice to get that out of the way. And then next I need to attach my yoke bits yoke bits to the front of the top, so that's what I'm going to do now. Those through now and giving them a really good press, and hopefully you can see the detail. Actually, if I turn it around you can see the detail even better. So inside it's really nicely lined with those two little yoke pieces, and then got the elasticated neck obviously, so it just sits really nicely when it's on you like that. When I was just tidying things off the table, I had to move my book off that I'm currently reading, so I thought I'd just share it with you because I haven't done a reading update or anything like that recently, and probably because I haven't really been reading very much actually. I've just been too tired in the evenings to read. I mainly read sort of at bedtime when I'm in bed, but recently we've actually been watching something really good on, I don't know if it's on Netflix or one of those kind of series, called The Last Kingdom. I think it's The Last Kingdom or The Lost Kingdom. I think it's The Last Kingdom. And it's kind of a historical drama sort of thing. It's set in England, so it's based on actual historical events, but it's so good, and yeah, it's really kind of gripping us, so we're staying up late at the moment to watch that, but we've nearly finished all of that now, and I'm actually quite sad that it's coming to an end. So it's one of those series that we've really got into. But anyway, over the weekend I started this book called The Wolf Den. So I had this for Christmas, and I bought this because it was recommended in a magazine or something, and I thought it sounded good. I really like quite historical things, and this is based in Italy, in Pompeii, and it's about the like a brothel in Pompeii, and the horrible time when people, or young ladies and girls and things, were bought and sold as slaves over there, and about their lives and things. So I'm not very far into it at the moment, but so far I'm really enjoying it, if enjoy is the right word. But it's really interesting to sort of read a bit more about those times, especially in Italy. It's not really somewhere that I know a lot about historically. Let me know if you've read this and how you found it. I know this is the first in about a series of 3 books, I think, all about the same kind of thing. So yeah, if I enjoy this one, then I'll definitely be reading the next ones as well. far the burrito method is all done. Hopefully I managed to film a little bit of that so you can see some of the process. It's so satisfying to do and actually not quite as hard as it sounds, although every time I do have to double check myself that I'm sewing the right bit to the right bit. The patina blouse is actually finished in the same way actually in the insides, and it is a really lovely finish. It just encloses all those sort of raggedy seams and makes it look all nice inside. So that's the bodice pretty much done. Obviously I've got to sew the side seams now, and then I'm on to the sleeves. So I actually forgot that the sleeves are attached flat, so you gather the sleeves in at the top and then you put them onto the sleeves flat because you'd normally, if you were doing the flutter sleeve at the armhole, you would also include that in your you'd have tacked that into your sleeve armhole before you put the sleeve on. I think that's why it's done on the flat. So I'm just going to do it in the same way as normal. I'm not going to change it in any way. So I'm going to put my sleeves in now. I've pressed up where the elastic casing is going to be because the pattern does suggest you do that, because then it makes it easier for finding that channel measurement again when you come to actually sew the side seams. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. I got a bit carried away there and I didn't stop to talk at all about what I was doing, but I was just on such a roll with going on with this top that I kind of just carried on. But I did film some of the sewing process, so hopefully you got to see what I was doing. So I have pretty much got a top here now with some little puffy sleeves here. And all I need to do is actually do the hem. So that has come together really quickly, and I think it really makes a difference when you're not doing the flutter sleeve bits here. And of course I'm not putting the skirt on today, and the skirt is quite involved on the Davenport because you're putting in a drawstring casing and you need to make the drawstring and everything, and the pockets, and of course you need to add a ruffle on the bottom as well if you're going to do that style. So yeah, that's come together super quickly. So I'm going to be good now and stop and have some lunch because I'm terrible. When I start to sew, I could just go and go and go, and sometimes I just don't want to stop to eat. But I need to stop because that's when I get too tired and that's when mistakes happen. But yeah, I'm not very good, as you probably know by now, at doing little chunks of sewing. I know lots of people do that and that's how they get their garments made. I definitely prefer to set aside a whole day or most of a day to get something done as far as I can, because otherwise I just find it all consuming and I just can't stop thinking about it. And yeah, I'm just a bit obsessed, I suppose. But I don't sew, I wouldn't say I sew as often as some people, but when I do sew, I sew in a big chunk, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's where I am now. So I'll go off and have my lunch, then I'm going to try this on. I'll probably try it on with a pair of jeans. I've got the worst outfit on today to try things on with, haven't I? Because I have to take the whole thing off. So I'll put on a pair of jeans and I'll try this on and I'll just see where I want to hem it. To leave it longer like it is, and then I can tuck it into things, or crop it really short so that it comes to sort of waistband length to wear with jeans and things. Okay, so here I am in my finished top. In the end, I took off about 1.5 inches, cut that off, and then I hemmed it by about 1 inch as well. So it is quite cropped and it comes to about mid hip length. So I can wear it either in or out, which I think is perfect. Does anyone else talk about, I'm really funny with like measurements. Normally I do everything in centimetres in terms of seam allowances and things. But when it comes to hemming things, I always refer to hemming in inches. I don't know why I do that. I can just see like an inch of a hem in my head. So that's what I did this time. So I just stand up. So after I filmed that little clip of me trying it on, I then tried the top on with various other pairs of jeans and different styles and came to the conclusion that tucking in was probably the best way to wear this. So I'll just stand up and show you it tucked in. So these are just some like wide legged jeans and I think it just looks really nice tucked in. So if I just take it out, so you can see that it falls to about here, which is just mid hip, which I think is a really good length. But I'll let you into a little secret. There was a minute there where I didn't think I was actually going to like this top very much, and I kind of wished for a half a second that I'd actually made it sleeveless with the flutter sleeves. I didn't know if it looked a little bit frumpy, but I think it depends how you wear it, and I think it definitely looks better tucked in. And I think the reason for that is because obviously the Davenport dress style does come in at the waist like that because it's drawn in with a drawstring. So I guess the obvious way to wear it really is tucked in, because then you get that sort of bringing in at the waist that you normally would have with the Davenport dress. I'm quite pleased with these sleeves actually. I think they look quite cute, little puff sleeves, but I think they look better kind of pushed up a little bit so you get that puffiness. So yeah, that was a good experiment. I don't think I'm done with this pattern yet. I still want to try a sleeveless version with the flutter sleeves, so that might be coming at some point in the summer. So I'll leave the video here. I hope it was okay today. I didn't feel like I talked very much in this video because I just got a bit carried away really and forgot to stop and talk. And also normally in my sewing day in the life videos I'm doing some other things but today I wasn't really doing a lot other than sewing, so I hope it was still okay. So don't forget to pop over and watch Becky's video after you've watched mine. If you have popped over from Becky's channel, thank you so much for watching. I'd love you to consider subscribing. I do post weekly with lots of sewing content, makes videos, what I've been sewing, sew-alongs and things like that, so I'd love to have you as a subscriber. And equally, if you do watch my videos but you haven't yet subscribed, I'd love you to consider subscribing, and don't forget to click the like button as well because that does really help me in the world of YouTube. Thanks so much for watching everyone, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!